Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17.
Today, for Turtle Month, we talk about Leatherhead. Arr, 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 arr. Be looking at the 1980s Turtles, more specifically the 1980s Turtle toys. The second day of Turtle Month, and you know what that means. This is the wild party dude of the bunch, Michelangelo, the jump for it! Hello and welcome to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Month. I'm your host, Hebro77 for Hebro's Toy Reviews. And today, for Turtle Month, we will be talking about Leatherhead. Now, I don't have a whole lot of qualifications for Leatherhead, other than I've seen him on the cartoon maybe once or twice. I'm not a huge comic book fan, so I'm not sure about his appearances in the comic books. But he does look like an interesting character. Now, I do know what they were trying to go for here, with alligators living in the sewers and all that stuff. But really, I think they should have gone more for like a crocodile. I don't know, it just seems like it would have been much better. But there were so many croc names taken already back in the 80s. Like Killer Croc and Crocmaster from G.I. Joe and whatnot have you. So they just decided to go with Leatherhead. So with that being said, let's get down to the review. There isn't really a whole lot I could say about Leatherhead except, well, that's pretty much the way you'd have to stand him up if you were to play with him. I mean, there is a whole lot going on here. But what the heck is he doing in New York City anyway? I know about New York and them saying that alligators live in the sewers and blah, blah, blah. But this guy's more like someone that should be from Louisiana, not from New York. And in the cartoon show, he did have a Louisiana accent. But I digress. Nonetheless, Leatherhead comes to us with a little satchel here of a belt, and it does look like he's done some fishing, if you will, some New Orleans type fishing. You've got what they call those crabs and whatnot, and you have some shrimp, and looks like he even got a turtle or two on his belt. Why they would be on his belt and he hasn't eaten them yet, I don't know. But we'll just assume that these are the skeletons of these things that he has captured and skinned to collect on his belt for as sort of trophies. He's got a nice yellow little vest here, which I'm assuming you would need in Everglades more than you would need in New York. He's got pants that are tied up by some rope. The pants have a knee patch on one end, and on the other end, however, he seemed to just let it go as, maybe he thought he was styling and profiling. He has brown leather boots. I'm just kidding. I don't think they're leather boots. They look more like work boots. And as you look here on top of his head, he has a hat that is more reminiscent of Crocodile Dundee, with a little feather coming out of the top. Maybe that's sort of a joke there that maybe he ate Crocodile Dundee and he's wearing his hat now. I don't know. He's got the gremlin looking eyebrows, and those red eyes just makes him look terrifying. And the one gimmick that they did give him is you can move his chompers up and down by pressing on the back of his hat. Like so. Yep. Other than that, not much to talk about. I do believe that he came with a knife that is in here. I do have the knife somewhere, probably. But he's a freaking alligator. Why does he need a knife for? You know, you're just going to eat things with your teeth. But I do believe he likes skinning things, since he does have little, shells and whatnot on his belt. Bones, I guess. But yeah, he doesn't need any weapons, because this is his weapon right here, his very powerful jaws. Now, I do think there was one missed opportunity here. Maybe they should have made him a crocodile. Crocodiles also could live in sewers. I mean, you really are splitting hairs here when you talk about crocodiles and alligators. The difference, I think one of them lives... can live in water for long periods of time, but the other one has to live on land. It cannot live exclusively in water. I'm not sure what the deal is. But anyway, what do I think of him as a figure? That's the question. Well, it's mediocre. Nonetheless, he definitely... I'll say this. He is a reptilian match for the Ninja Turtles to fight. But as far as mutant enemies for the Turtles to fight, he's the least of their worries. Rocksteady and Bebop and Rocksteady still beat any kind of other mutant enemies. Even Baxter Stockman by a huge margin. And I like their characters better. So I really am going to have to underbelly this thing here and give it a low score. Simply because, number one, he was not a regular on the show. And, well, he was a semi-regular in later shows. But he wasn't a regular on the show. He wasn't that much of a threat to the Turtles. And really, what is he? He's a common misconception that the New York sewers are filled with alligators. So, yeah. As far as the jaw gimmick goes, I mean, come on. Every toy has gimmicks. Who cares? I'm going to have to give this guy a C-. And that's pretty much it. What can I say other than after a while, crocodile? Well, that about does it for this review. I gotta say, I never really gave Leatherhead such a good shot. The whole alligator gimmick, I mean, you only have one or two puns before you're done with that. Yeah, but him being a reptile did make a pretty good, interesting character for the Ninja Turtles to fight nonetheless. So, we will see you next time with yet another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle review when Turtle Month continues. But until then, just remember, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. See you later, alligator.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.